Fortnite.
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 Fortnite, the most popular game of our generation. And with that, we have seen the rise of some of the biggest creators in the world.
I think if we go up there, he'll follow us.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna use it. Please. Yes! Oh my God! It worked!
But sometimes those creators disappear. Whether they quit because they hate the game.
I'm done. In fact, I'm honestly, dude, I gotta take a break from streaming, dude.
Decide to follow other passions.
So I'm gonna just go do some fun, you know? Just gotta go live my life.
Or just sort of vanish into thin air. Today, I'll be showing you the biggest Fortnite creators to ever disappear. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video because some of the reasons and proof for why they left will shock you. Starting with one of the most popular creators of all time, Dakotas. Dakotas was one of the biggest content creators in the history of Fortnite. He started to upload to YouTube and stream on January 23rd of 2013. Unfortunately, his early videos have been wiped off of YouTube for the most part, but luckily for us, a few of his early videos have actually been archived. Originally, Dakota's channel focused on a game called The War Z, but the only problem with that was it was a really terrible game. It had a 20 out of 100 review from game critics, and for those of you that are still in school, you know that's a really bad test score. But despite the poor game reviews, Dakota still managed to gain his first 30,000 subscribers by playing this truly terrible game. Eventually, however, Dakotas realized that was limiting him, and he picked up another style of game called Battle Royale by playing H1Z1 and PUBG. He was moderately successful in these new games as well, and eventually hit 100,000 followers both on Twitch and on YouTube. And for Dakotas, this was just the beginning. Because in September of 2017, a little game called Fortnite Battle Royale came out, and it would change Dakota's life forever. Longtime creators like Ninja, Lachlan, and of course Dakotas took no time jumping onto the new game. Dakotas uploaded his first ever video about Fortnite on September 14th, 2017.
WTF this Disney game, bro. This is the Disney Battle Royale, okay?
Dakota's journey into Fortnite was like a new start for his channel. And this new start was incredibly profitable because he absolutely blew up on the game. Less than 6 months later, on February 12th of 2018, Dakotas hit 1 million subscribers. He was regularly getting hundreds of thousands of views a video and sometimes even gaining millions.
Thank you for the 1 million. I appreciate it, guys.
And in 2018, he was the 6th most watched Twitch channel on the entire platform. With a whopping 50 million views, his growth did not stop at 1 million followers. Because on July 18th of 2018, less than a few months later, his Twitch would reach 2 million followers, and then in the following year of 2019, 3 million followers. But unfortunately, this is where things start to go in a different direction for Dakotas, as his success was not sustainable. See, Dakotas has been very open with his mental health struggles, and with this newfound success came a lot of paranoia, self-doubt, and depression. Plus, on top of that, like many other creators in this video, Dakotas got tired of playing Fortnite. Dakotas even got into some weird drama with Ninja after he called the game garbage on Twitter. The whole fiasco resulted in Dakotas and Ninja blocking each other, and Ninja sort of made a big deal about the whole thing. Over time, Dakota's viewership just seemed to get lower and lower, and he even tried switching over to Among Us content for a little bit to spark his channel, which worked initially, but as the game died out, so did the views on his channel. Eventually, the videos started to slow down, and he seemingly disappeared from YouTube entirely after July of 2021. However, he would come back periodically to check on the channel.
You may or may not be wondering what happened to me. Where have I been? Well, the truth is, I've been streaming every single day. I'm just a lazy piece of shit. Anyways, I've come back to you now, like Gandalf did, okay? I've come back to you. I'm like Gandalf the White now.
With this being said, however, Dakotas might just be ready for a comeback, because in the last few weeks, he has uploaded 8 videos on his YouTube channel, and they're all Fortnite related. Unlike our next player, Daquan.
You want it again? 360, ooga booga booga!
And in all honesty, I don't think this man is ever truly making a comeback. You see, Daquan started gaining traction way back in the OG Fortnite days of 2017. Daquan started his own YouTube channel and saw rapid success from his daily live streams streams, and hilarious personality on and off camera.
My ground, boy. 360 ooga booga booga.
But little did Daquan know he was about to become one of the fastest growing streamers and YouTubers in the history of not only Fortnite, but all of gaming. The craziest part is his success was all an accident. Back in 2017, in the month of November, Daquan would stream almost every single day, beating the competition and proving to be one of the best Fortnite players in the world. But the problem was, nobody knew who this guy was. That was until one day when Daquan started up his stream and loaded into a solo squads match. But when he got into the game, he realized he forgot to turn off autofill. And just as Daquan was about to leave the game, he noticed that he was squatted up with one of the biggest streamers of all time, Dakota's. Coincidentally, Dakota's was also streaming, and all of his fans saw Daquan put on an absolute show in front of everybody. After the match, the two had such a good time that they decided to keep playing with each other before eventually getting a whopping 28 wins in a row. That's right, 28 Fortnite Victory Royales back to back to back. This was a world record at the time. After seeing how good Daquan was, Dakota's would get Daquan into some of the top Fortnite tournaments in the world while also streaming with him on a daily basis. Because of all of this, Daquan went from one of the most underrated and unknown Fortnite streamers in the world to a top name in the game and in the gaming community. For a while, everything was going well. That was all until August of 2018 when Daquan uploaded a video titled Daquan's Depression Sickness. In this video, Daquan describes why he just disappeared randomly, and this story is very sad.
I literally couldn't do anything. I couldn't go to the gym anymore. I couldn't hang out with my friends. I was literally just sitting in my bed. Okay, the symptoms that I had. I could barely eat. Anytime I ate anything, like, I felt like I just had to throw up. It was just severe nausea.
And sadly enough, Daquan would go on a long break following his depression video, causing a huge decline in his viewership. This obviously caused a drop in motivation for Daquan, leading to the stream quality also declining. Daquan would slowly but surely start to fall off the radar, and for almost 2 years, he didn't upload a single video or stream once. That was until 2021, when Daquan and a few of his friends from Fortnite signed a huge contract with NRG, and the team moved into the Thume house.
We got a dishwasher,
a dishwasher,
a sink, another sink,
2 dead plants.
Damn!
Right off the bat, Daquan was averaging crazy numbers on stream, and everything seemed back to normal.
Bring it back to me.
But shortly after this return, Daquan would disappear once again, and this time it seems to be forever. It's been over 2 years since this 2021 NRG deal, and we haven't heard a single word from Daquan. I genuinely wish the best for him, and I really hope he comes back because I miss him so much, almost as much as C-Day. C-Day is another creator who was a huge fan favorite before literally falling off the face of this earth, and his story starts back in 2016. Originally starting as a Destiny creator, C-Day didn't see much success streaming and making videos for only a few viewers. But then, C-Day started doing something different by creating funny compilations which would help him start to grow an audience on YouTube. When C-Day would upload his very first Fortnite video in 2017 though, is when things really started to take off. You see, C-Day used this tactic of creating funny moments like he did in Destiny, but brought it over to Fortnite.
Oh, well.
You want the fucking brawl? I'll come out my house.
Why
and I'll your fucking legs, you little prick.
Stop. Hey, put that gun down. Put the gun down.
Which caused his viewership to spike in 2017. Over the span of just a year, C-Day would garner over 3 million subscribers to his YouTube channel, averaging millions and millions of views every upload. But it was around that time that C-Day took his first break, which was a precursor to his downfall. After a month of complete silence, C-Day would return and tell his viewers that while he was MIA, it was because he was moving into a new home, and it seemed like things were back to normal for a little while.
What the fuck is that? Is that a guy? Oh shit, wait, what? Bro. Easy.
C-Day started uploading consistently again, but then he started this weird pattern of leaving without telling his audience, taking little breaks here and there without really explanations. But sure enough, C-Day continued to gain subscribers, and although he was flaky with his uploads, he continued to be successful. That was until one day, everything just stopped. See, in February of 2020, C-Day uploaded a video which would be his last one for over 2 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the bullshit. Now, my last video, I went around to the new spots. Well, most of them. I left out one of them, like the clown I am, because I thought that one was going to be irrelevant. So I missed out on the grappler.
Of course, fans eagerly waited and waited, but heard nothing from C-Day for years. But he finally broke his silence during Season 2, Chapter 1, where Fortnite released the Black Hole event. Prior to this event, C-Day stated that he was fed up with the future of Fortnite and he would be posting one last video on the game. But oddly enough, that video never came. That is until 1 year later when he uploaded his comeback video.
You know, it's not easy to explain a nearly 2-year absence. And let's be real, those last 2 years were no normal 2 years, man. That was one long, continuous ass whooping the whole time.
But again, that seemed to be a one-time thing, because sure enough, after this comeback video, he disappeared again. This became a pattern for C-Day, and his fans started to expect that every time he came back, he would just flake and disappear again. And to this day, nobody really knows where C-Day is, or why he quit altogether. You'd think he'd at least let his audience know first. Next up, Hamlins. We've already talked about Daquan, and Hamlins is one of his best friends, and they kind of disappeared together. Let's go back a little bit though and talk about how Hamlins rose to fame in the first place. Before becoming a Fortnite streamer, Hamlins would play RuneScape where he gained a decent audience. But when Fortnite came around, Hamlins immediately made the switch and convinced his already established fan base to follow in his Fortnite streams. And boy, did Hamlins put in the work. He quickly became one of the best Fortnite players in the world and was averaging thousands of viewers on his Twitch streams.
That's my head now.
Oh! Hamlins would go on to meet one of the top streamers at the time, Myth, and the two became very close friends along with Daquan, and they would stream on the regular, really upping Hamlin's viewer base. Then in 2018, Hamlins would get the offer of a lifetime. He was recruited to Fortnite's top team at the time, TSM. And for the next year and a half, Hamlins went crazy with the content. He was absolutely crushing it in every aspect.
Oh, hello, motherfucker. Watch this, chat. Watch this.
But just like everybody else on this list, when everything seemed to be doing fine on the outside, things weren't really as they seemed. See, as Hamlin started gaining more fans, there was more pressure on him to increase the quality and quantity of his streams. This pressure really got to Hamlin's, and it started to take a toll on his ability to stream every day.
No!
Then things got worse in August of 2021. Unfortunately, Hamlins would announce his first long break from streaming. This is because Hamlin's grandmother had gotten really sick and he needed some time for himself.
And then Hamlins, he ran into like family issues where he was experiencing loss like in his family for the first time.
Of course, this is understandable, but sometimes Twitch and YouTube are not forgiving when creators take these long breaks. Then in October of that same year, Hamlins made his big return, but unfortunately things were just not the same. He was streaming way less and he just didn't really seem like himself. Since then, Hamlins has only streamed a total of 5 times and essentially fell off the radar. Much like our next creator, Fearless. Quite possibly the biggest mystery in Fortnite goes to Fearless. I mean, one of the largest creators in the entire world simply disappearing? We've got to talk about this. Fearless began his YouTube journey back in 2013 in the month of December. He would post Call of Duty content for several years, and Fearless kept grinding and posting this content and really became one of the better Call of Duty players of all time, and definitely one of the more popular ones. When Call of Duty Black Ops 3 came out, however, Fearless's numbers absolutely skyrocketed. From that, he realized his personality could help him gain more viewers than just playing the game, and he started creating funny and personalized content. And then, when Fortnite finally came around, Fearless went viral. He took his same funny, entertaining personality from Call of Duty and pushed it into his Fortnite content. So in 2017, he would upload his first Fortnite video, and from there, it was history. Just like COD, Fearless was a beast at Fortnite, and quickly became one of the best players in the world, while also growing a substantial fan base. At one point, back in 2018, he was getting 10 million views of video. But unfortunately, all good things seemed to come to an end in Fortnite, because after a while of posting, Fearless started to upload less, and it got to the point where it would be months in between uploads, until eventually eventually, it seemed to all fizzle out. And I mean, he just completely stopped uploading. Sure enough, this sparked a reaction from all over the community, considering that Fearless was one of the greatest and most popular Fortnite players of this time. Everyone was trying to figure out what happened, and nobody really had the answers except Fearless himself. And with many theories out there, nobody really knows exactly what happened to the legendary Fearless. However, we do know what happened to Skeptic. From being one of the youngest Fortnite streamers making it viral, Skeptic's story is truly like no other. His story began back in 2018, where the 14-year-old Fortnite phenom began streaming his gameplay to a very small audience. Although he was very skilled, Skeptic did not gain much recognition at first because there were so many other young talented players in the game, and he needed an opportunity to set himself apart. Well, that opportunity came soon and fast. One day, during his live stream, he was randomly matched up against the legendary FaZe Tfue. Not only did Skeptic have an insane match, but ended up eliminating Tfue in an intense 1v1 at the end of the match. Here's that clip. Within days of this clip getting out there, Skeptic took off. His video of him killing Tfue amassed over 10 million views, and Skeptic started becoming way more known in the community. Eventually, about a month later, he was recruited to a top esports team known as Misfits Gaming, where he would eventually go on to pair up with his then World Cup duo, Clix. Skeptic kept getting better as a player and as a content creator, and his hard work and efforts placed him in the prestigious Fortnite World Cup with his duo, Clix. The two went on to win $100,000 from the World Cup, which they split evenly. However, many fans started bashing Skeptic for being toxic, including this clip right here where he takes the L IRL in the World Cup.
We take the L. Oh my God, we got some trash talk in real life.
This led fans to give Skeptic hate and even call him out for saying that Clix carried in the World Cup. While Clix never said that that was true, and he actually says that Skeptic was a great teammate, the two of them ended up splitting following the World Cup event. After the split, Clix and Skeptic went their separate ways, having an occasional chat on social media, and it was clear they didn't necessarily get along. That being said, Clix was blowing up, and this would cause a lot of people to take his side in this ever-going battle, leading Skeptic to losing some of his fan base. That being said, Skeptic decided to switch up his content around this time as well, deciding that he didn't necessarily want to stay in the Fortnite space. So, Skeptic started to create content exploring NFTs, and this thing's made things worse as much of his fans didn't want to watch this new content. Then, Skeptic decided to switch back to Fortnite content, which at first did help him start to gain some of his traction back, and he was seeing a couple 100,000 views per video. However, ultimately things didn't work out for Skeptic on the Fortnite side. Skeptic started to slow down his uploads, taking month-long breaks, and as we've seen from a lot of these other YouTubers and streamers, when you take long breaks, it's hard for your fans and the YouTube algorithm to keep. However, he is still young and has continued to make different types of content and still make a living doing full-time content creation. Unlike our next creator who completely disappeared, FaZe Dubs. Daniel Paul Walsh, more commonly known as Dubs, started off his gaming career as most other young kids did, because his big brother played too.
The way I got into gaming was through my brother and like my friends at school, because like they were all into gaming. And I started off with like Call of Duty.
But before Dubs became a Fortnite prodigy, he actually wanted to be a professional skateboarder. And he was really serious about it too. When he was just 13 years old, Dubs went to Woodward Skate Camp, which was one of the best skateboard camps in all of America. But on just his first day of camp, a tragedy would strike Dubs that would change his life forever.
So I was 13 years old, skateboarding at Woodward Skate Camp. And the first day I was there, I ended up breaking my femur, which I then had to go get a cast. I was in the cast for about a year.
Yep, you heard him right. A whole year. And look at that thing. That cast took up his whole leg. And when you're in a full cast like that, there's not much you can do, if anything at all. Well, other than gaming, that is. So, to help Dubs feel better, his mom got him an awesome gaming setup. And from there, his true obsession, gaming, had started.
That's how I fell in love with gaming, because That's the only thing I could do.
Dubs quickly forgot about getting back on his skateboard, and instead he dove headfirst into the world of competitive gaming. And it just so happens that around this same time, a brand new game was released that would not only change Dubs' life, but the entire world of gaming. On September 26th of 2017, the game Fortnite Battle Royale was released to the public, and it took the entire world by storm. For those of you who are too young, or maybe aren't the biggest Fortnite fans, during this time, Fortnite was everywhere.
Fortnite.
And just like any other kid at the time, Dubs was obsessed with playing the game of Fortnite. However, the thing about Dubs is that he started to stand out from his friends at school. They all enjoyed playing the game, but Dubs was getting good. Like, really good. So early on in 2018, Dubs decided to start playing in some competitive tournaments. Although he was good, he wasn't really seeing any success by way of earnings until later that year in 2018. During the Winter Royale on December 12th of 2018, Dubs finished 67th out of the top 100, which earned him a whopping $1,500 prize. This might not be huge for some people, but Dubs was just a 14 or 15-year-old kid, so this was probably amazing for him to see so much success early on. Right away, it was clear that Dubs was a force to be reckoned with in solo Fortnite. That being said, we do have to mention somebody else if we're going to be talking about Dubs, and that would be his duo partner Mega. You often don't hear Dubs without hearing Dubs and Mega, and that's because they're one of the greatest Fortnite duos of all time. And here's Dubs talking about how that happened.
So the way I found Mega was back in squad scrims. We had a team and I was the owner of the team. We saw Mega like needed a team, so we picked him up and we just started dominating, and that was over after that.
The duo debuted together on March 17th in the Scallywag Cup. They finished second on all of NA East, which earned them $2,000 in prizes. This second place finish was not only huge because they got to earn $1,000 each, but it really showed how much potential they had as a duo as well as individual players. And the duo would not be stopping anytime soon. Mega and Dubs were about to lock in and train for one of the biggest gaming events in history, the Fortnite World Cup. Epic Games announced the Fortnite World Cup in early 2019. This would be a giant in-person LAN tournament held in New York City with a $30 million prize pool. This was not only the biggest prize pool in Fortnite history, but in esports history. The tournament would consist of both solos and duos, and players around the world would have an opportunity to qualify over 10 different weeks of qualifying tournaments. And the cool thing about this was that anyone could play to win, even without joining an org. 40 million players decided to try out for the Fortnite World Cup, so with $30 million on the line, Dubs and Mega stepped onto the battle bus, hoping to ride it all the way to New York City. And that's exactly what they did. In the first week of qualifiers, Dubs managed to get second placed in solos on NA East, which earned him a spot in the Solo World Cup. But that wasn't enough for him. He also got 6th place in week 3 of solos, 1st in week 5 of solos, and 3rd in week 7 of solos. Dubs was performing so well, in fact, that many people in the community thought that he had to be cheating. I mean, who was this kid that just came out of nowhere? One of these people that thought he was cheating included one of the world's best players at the time, Booga.
I remember watching these clips right here, and I was like, what the hell is this kid's aim? Look how snappy it looks. You guys see how snappy? Like, watch this. Look how, like, flicky and weird it looks. Like, you guys see this?
And this would not be the last controversy in Dubs' career. So make sure you guys stick around for the entire video, because I have a couple crazy stories coming about how FaZe Dubs almost got canceled. However, with these cheating accusations aside, it was safe to say that Dubs was moving on to the Solo World Cup finals. But unfortunately for him and his duo Mega, they still hadn't placed high enough in duos to earn a spot together. And luckily, they did just that. Dubs and Mega placed 5th in NA East, which secured them a spot together for the New York City tournament.
When we qualified for duos, it was so sick because we thought it was over. Like, we were 8 games in and we had like 40 points or something super low, and we had 2 games left. And we had to get like 2 20 bombs back to back and the win to qualify. And we ended up doing it somehow. and then we qualified, and it was just like, it was actually unreal because we did not think we were going to qualify.
After the spectacular performance that Dubs put on in the qualifiers, he started to get the attention of the Fortnite community. Not only was Dubs insanely talented, but he also had a great personality that many Fortnite fans loved. Around this time, he also started streaming and posting videos to YouTube.
Oh my god!
Let's go!
I'm a 40 kill game.
Oh
Holy
my god, I got 20, holy.
And with all this newfound attention, also came an offer from a huge esports organization. Dubs and Mega were about to get the offer of a lifetime. They joined FaZe Clan. With a new org to rep and some doubters to prove wrong, Dubs traveled all the way to New York City to get ready to compete in the fight of his life.
And finally, Mega and Dubs, as you can see on the left side of your screen right now.
First up was the duo tournament, and Dubs and his duo Mega did not disappoint. The two placed 7th out of the 50 teams, which won them $375,000. At just 14 and 16 years old, this was crazy for them to do. That was a life-changing amount of money, and the weekend wasn't even finished. They were both still scheduled to participate in the solo finals the next day. But this time, Dubs wouldn't have his best friend and duo to rely on. He had to drop in from the battle bus all alone.
Solos is my strong point.
Okay, my heart's racing right now.
You can dominate by going for picks or playing for high ground.
After the day was over, Dubs placed 15th in the Solo World Cup, which was incredible. To put that into perspective, he placed higher than some huge names like Clix, Mr. Savage, and Tfue. This solo placement earned him another $150,000, which brought his total for the weekend up to $437,000. At just 16 years old, Dubs was well on his way to becoming a millionaire. So, Dubs had reached the height of his career. I mean, he was just about as successful as you can be at his age. A pro gamer making hundreds of thousands of dollars and gaining millions of followers. However, unfortunately for Dubs, with these new followers came a certain amount of responsibility that maybe he wasn't ready for. You see, as a streamer and a content creator, and really just a pro gamer, you always need to be aware of what you're saying both on and off stream, but especially on stream. And Dubs was about to make one of the biggest mistakes a creator could. On February 27th of 2020, while being in a call with some friends that were live streaming, Dubs said a word that starts with the letter N that I'm not going to repeat or even show the clip of. Obviously, this was not a good look for Dubs. After Dubs said this really inappropriate word on his friend's stream, it got clipped thousands of times and went super viral all over Twitter. Even some of the biggest names in Fortnite like Tfue and Ninja reacted to it on stream.
What happened to FaZe Dub?
You don't know?
No.
Oh my god. The kid is so stupid.
What?
He said the hard R on stream.
He what?
Yeah, he said the hard R on stream.
Oh boy. That makes me more uncomfortable than a white person dropping a hard R.
And just because someone says the N-word doesn't mean they're racist. Like, I don't think fucking Dubs is obviously racist. Like, what the fuck? But it is fucking weird that he would say it, like, you know, like in his off time, you know? Because, like, if you say it on stream and it's an obvious slip up, you can fucking tell, you know? Like when my dumbass said it. But, like, if he's just saying it, like, with his boys, kind of fucking cringe.
Of course, Dubs had to say something, so he immediately went to Twitter apologizing and said this: "I can't even describe how sorry I am. I did not intend to be hurtful in any way, but what I said was still hurtful, insensitive, and wrong. The word shouldn't have even been in my vocabulary, and I apologize from the bottom of my heart to everyone I offended by using it. You deserve better." Although it was right of Dubs to apologize, it did seem to be a pretty basic response to the situation. And because of this big controversy, Dubs' organization FaZe had to respond. In their statement, they would go on to say that they don't tolerate any form of hate speech and that they would indefinitely suspend Dubs from competing, streaming, or posting on social media as a FaZe member, and they basically made him silence all of his accounts. Plus, him and the rest of his team at FaZe had to go through sensitivity training. And because the nature nature of the internet is that it's so fast-paced, things just kind of moved on and everyone seemed to forget about this. We don't know exactly when FaZe officially unsuspended Dubs, but if you look at his Twitter, he posts a longer Notes app apology that seemed to mark his return to the internet, and you guys can read that on your own. Just pause the video. After this, it was back to business as usual for Dubs. He got right back to playing Fortnite, and everything just seemed back to normal. Despite all the controversy, it seemed like Dubs came out of the situation mostly unscathed, with all of his fans still supporting him. In fact, he seemed to be doing better than ever when it came to Fortnite, because on April 18th of 2020, Dubs and his duo partner Mega got a first place in the FNCS Chapter 2 Season 2 Heat 4. Then, the next day, Dubs and Mega would proceed to get second place in the grand finals, earning them $37,000. Finally, Dubs had truly come back from the controversy. However, just when things seemed to be going in the right direction for Dubs, things took a turn for the worse again. It really just seemed like Dubs couldn't catch a break, because on May 2nd, an account called LeafFR on Twitter posted a video with proof of Dubs cheating in a cash cup. Allegedly, Dubs and another player, Waffles, were teaming up together in a solo cash cup. Many believe that this is a super obvious example of teaming, and after the video blew up, Dubs got banned from Fortnite for an entire month. A lot of people in the Fortnite community were calling for Dubs to get removed from FaZe. I mean, combined with what he had said just a few months ago, this was the second time that he had done something really bad, and it seemed like FaZe just really didn't want to drop it. And once again, it seemed like Dubs just kind of got off without any repercussions. He did make a 45-minute YouTube video defending himself and saying how it was obvious that he wasn't cheating.
I've been doing that in scrims forever. Like, someone is trying to grief me or anything, I usually just on them.
In my opinion, it's really hard to tell whether or not he was actually cheating. I mean, it looks like he may have been, but I'm gonna leave that up to you guys in the comment section down below to decide whether or not you think he was cheating. Dubs had so many controversies, one after another, that a lot of people in the Fortnite community thought that he was purposely trying to stir up controversy to get out of his FaZe contract.
Was just like he was trying to get out of his contract.
That's not how you do it.
I mean, kind of is.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna get out of it, but you're gonna get a lot of hate for it.
However, this isn't proven, and luckily for Dubs, his ban only lasted a couple of weeks, and he got right back to competing. Everything seemed to be back to normal. Dubs was still in FaZe, and he was still cracked at the game. However, after all these controversies, Dubs did get a lot quieter on his social medias. It seemed like he just wanted to stay out of the limelight for the time being. In the next year of 2021, Dubs, although remaining quiet, did still have some awesome Fortnite performances. He ended up earning $48,000 in the year of 2021, which was even $10,000 more than he had earned the year before in 2020. And because of all of this success, in February of 2022, Dubs and his friends and FaZe members, Mega and Bizzle, would move into a house together in Virginia so they could have zero ping. But this did not last very long, because Dubs would have yet another setback in his career. After a pretty uneventful 2022 where he didn't earn very much money, FaZe decided to drop their Fortnite roster on February 8th of 2023. And after this, Dubs sort of just faded. I know it seems like I'm skipping over a lot of details, but that's because there really wasn't that much going on for Dubs in this time. He was playing in tournaments and getting some average placements, but never earning more than $5,000 or $10,000 in a tournament, when just years before that, he was earning 10, 20, 30, 50, and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Later on that year, Dubs would make his final tweet on his Twitter account. He never really announced where he was going, and after that tweet, Dubs sort of just disappeared from the internet. It had been almost a year with nobody hearing anything from Dubs until Mega recently told his live stream where Dubs had been.
Chat, Dubs is in the army right now. He's actually the captain of his unit. Like, he used to IG on Fortnite, but now he's IGing the army. It's honestly sad, bro. It's like, bro, he hasn't hit me up since he joined. Like, I haven't talked to him since. Like, I haven't heard of him in months, man. He hasn't hit me back. Nothing, bro. What's his IRL Alright, bro. Dubs is definitely giving Fortnite comps in the army, though.
We might not know where Dubs is, but we do know where our next player is, and his name is Tfue. Turner Tenney, better known as Tfue, came from a humble household. Turner and his 3 siblings were all homeschooled by their parents for most of their lives. Some would look at this as a negative, but because they didn't go to a regular school, they had more time to pursue their passions. Both of Tfue's parents were very supportive of all their kids, all of whom were very creative. They all used to make silly videos together like this one, which was uploaded to YouTube 16 years ago. That clip that you just saw was from the first video ever uploaded to a channel known as Juke Squad. This channel was run by Tfue's older brother Jack, but featured all of their brothers, including Tfue, Jack, and Pierce. A lot of the earlier videos focused on the outdoor activities they were involved in, the first of which was a sport called skimming. Tfue got really good at it really fast. He even traveled all over the country participating in skimming competitions. He even did the world's first 900 big spin. Once Tfue got bored of skimming, however, he changed his focus to longboarding. He even started his own longboarding channel, which was the first time that he had ever started his own YouTube channel. And eventually he got tired of that too and started to search for a new hobby. And that led him to cliff jumping. And of course, he got really good at that too. In between jumping from extreme sport to extreme sport, Tfue also loved to play video games. Surprisingly enough, however, Tfue and his siblings weren't allowed to play video games growing up. He actually didn't try video games until he was 13 years old, and he started on a game called RuneScape. After getting tired of RuneScape, Tfue jumped from game to game, trying to find one that fit him the best. Toontown, Call of Duty 4, Halo, Call of Duty World at War, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, well, you get the point. He tried a lot of games. And it was around this time on May 22nd, 2014, that Tfue started his second channel ever, which would be his gaming channel Tfue that we all know today. His first videos were all Call of Duty Advanced Warfare highlights. These clips are obviously very different than the Fortnite videos Tfue is known for now, but you can just tell from these highlights that Tfue knew his way around video games, and the young Turner had some real potential in gaming. But where Tfue really shined was in a brand new game mode taking the world by storm called Battle Royales. The first Battle Royale that he played was H1Z1. H1Z1 initially entered the market on January 15th, 2015. The original game was featured in survival mode, but a Battle Royale mode became way more popular.
Let's go, baby! Let's fucking go, dude!
In addition to the gaming videos, Tfue did add some IRL videos on his channel as well, going back to his roots of doing extreme sports. Here's a clip of him jumping on a trampoline full of mousetraps. Yep, well, that was, interesting. Anyways, in between the insane IRL videos, Tfue started playing H1Z1 competitively. In fact, he was on top of the leaderboard for several seasons of the game. And he was even rivals with Ninja, yeah, that one, way before either of them made it big as content creators.
That is literally, dude, the definition of a nerdy play, man.
By the start of 2018, Tfue had 65,000 subscribers on YouTube, which for 2018 wasn't bad at all. But this was just the start, because Tfue was about to play the game that would change his life forever. On February 2nd of 2018, Tfue uploaded the first ever Fortnite Battle Royale video to his account. This video was titled Fortnite 29 Solo vs Squad Kills Crazy Late Game. And he did exactly what the title said in the video. He plowed through 29 players like it was nothing. And after winning the game, he said this.
Not bad, but we can do a lot better.
At this time, Fortnite was on the come up and becoming wildly popular, but people were not that good at the game. So as you can see, Tfue was well above the average Fortnite player. He was building like crazy while everyone else was still running away and hiding in bushes. He was constantly breaking world records for the most kills left and right as well. Because of his crazy talent and entertaining personality, Tfue's following started to grow very quickly. Later that year, Tfue hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube on April 15th. Shortly after this, Tfue would get some amazing news. He was officially invited to FaZe Clan, one of the biggest esports organizations of all time. And when he joined FaZe, he became unstoppable, it seemed. By the end of the next month, in May of 2018, he hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube and was averaging over 10,000 viewers regularly on his Twitch streams. This is also where he started to compete in Fortnite competitively through popular tournaments called Friday Fortnite. For the first week, he teamed up with fellow content creator and the creator of FaZe himself, FaZe Banks. But by week 2, Tfue found his forever duo partner, Cloaksy. Cloaksy was another member of FaZe, and these two were a force to be reckoned with. They were regularly placing in the top 4 teams for the rest of Friday Fortnite. Because of his amazing performance in these tournaments and his really infectious personality, by July of 2018, Tfue had already hit 2 million subscribers on YouTube and was averaging 40,000 viewers on his Twitch streams. I don't think I have to say that that's crazy. Even by today's standards, that's an insane amount of viewers. This amount of growth was not only unprecedented in the gaming community, but in content creation as a whole. Unfortunately, however, all of that attention wasn't always positive. On August 7th of 2018, that same year, all of Tfue's accounts were taken over by a group of hackers. Here's Tfue explaining what happened.
Basically, I woke up one morning and I couldn't sign into my YouTube, and then I couldn't sign into my Twitter, and then my Instagram, and then my Snapchat. All my emails were hacked, so basically everything was hacked, you know?
Tfue's Twitter name was changed, and his profile picture was changed to a strange man. The hackers also made a ton of negative tweets about fellow creators like Keemstar, Ninja, and Myth. Plus, they tweeted out a bunch of other racist stuff, which I'm not going to show here. And if it couldn't get any worse, the hackers started streaming awful Fortnite gameplay on his Twitch account. Luckily, Tfue got his Twitch back pretty fast, but once the hackers were taken off of his Twitch, they started streaming on his Instagram.
Hey! Hey! Oh!
These guys were just determined to make Tfue have the worst day ever. In addition to all of this, Tfue's YouTube account, which he had been working on for 6 or 7 years at this point, looked like it was suspended. Tfue didn't receive access back to his YouTube account until August 14th, which was over a week later. But this victory again was short-lived, because on August 23rd, 2018, just 2 weeks later, Tfue's YouTube account was deleted, like fully gone. And on top of that, his Twitch was suspended. He didn't get either his YouTube or Twitch reinstated until September 5th, 2018, almost 2 weeks after this whole event had happened. However, this may have been a good thing, because the return stream was so long awaited by his fans that his stream broke the record for Twitch viewers on that day. Luckily for Tfue, however, he was able to participate in Fortnite competition while he was waiting to get his socials back. He competed in the solo summer skirmish, which took place on September 3rd at PAX West that year. Tfue placed 27th out of 300 players, which earned him $5,000.
Pumped though.
Now, what are you going to say to the millions that love you and the crowd that's live here at PAX? What do you want to tell them?
I love you guys, and I miss you guys for sure.
Shortly after that, Tfue once again teamed up with his fellow FaZe member Cloaksy to participate in the Duos Fall Skirmish series. The two of them had multiple first place rankings in the qualifier rounds and eventually placed first overall in the event at TwitchCon on October 28th of 2018.
Where the circle is going to start claiming quite a few players' time here at the crowd every time Tfue and Cloak show up.
Nate Hill and Funk Bomb at 3, so they'll get a point as well. Tfue and Cloaksy at 2 in total.
And you come here, and in front of all your fans, you are the #1 duo. How are you guys feeling right now?
Dude, I don't have words. Shout out to all the fans. Shout out to my partner Tfue.
The The fall skirmish had a total prize pool of $10 million, which at the time was the largest Fortnite prize pool we had ever seen. This first place finish earned the team a whopping $400,000, which even today is a crazy amount of money for an esports competition. Tfue was at the top of his game, one of the best in Fortnite. His YouTube channel now had over 8 million subscribers. Yeah, 8 million when he had only had 100,000 subs earlier that year. He was such a big YouTuber that even Mr. Beast himself invited him to be in one of his videos.
Raise your hand if you think Tfue should lose his trumpet.
Get rid now.
Up.
Trumpet!
Tfue seemed invincible. He had very few, if any, haters at all. People loved him and his content, but even for the most amazing creators, it seems like controversy finds everyone in the gaming community. And for Tfue, this was no different. Because on May 20th of 2019, Tfue decided to sue FaZe Clan. He accused FaZe of not only purposely limiting his career, but also promoting underage drinking and gambling. Not to mention, FaZe had got a very young Tfue to sign a terrible contract that allowed FaZe to keep 20% of his branded earnings and a whopping 50% of his live appearance earnings. This is what Tfue had to say about the contract.
Kids are getting ripped off, they're getting taken advantage of. These contracts are not okay, and this needs to never happen again. And there's tons of people in contracts this bad, just like me. And I'm the first person to stand up and say, this is not right, this is not cool.
This video blew up, and on the same day he announced the lawsuit, he decided to leave FaZe forever. Of course, FaZe Banks decided to come out against Tfue, basically saying that he lied about everything. This is what he had to say.
And I know your team of lawyers and your dad and stuff, I know they convinced you this was a good idea, but I promise you it wasn't. Maybe it is for your career or what you have in mind for a career, and if you destroy part of FaZe Clan in the process and you knock us down a couple pegs, if that's what your goal was, maybe you will succeed in that. Maybe you won't regret it from that standpoint, but as a human being, I think you will. Because I think you and I both know you've never met a person who went out of their way for you like I did. And this is before the money, this is before the fame, this is before the success, this is before your clout, your bull clout, all this bull internet. It's so disgusting, man. I reached out to you, I extended my hand to you when you were a no one, when you were a nobody, and I believed in you, and I put everything I had into you. And all I can say is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this didn't work out.
Surprisingly enough, people seem to side with FaZe Banks. Tfue lost over 30,000 YouTube subscribers because of the drama, and Banks gained over 200,000. Then later that year, FaZe hit Tfue with a counter lawsuit. This lawsuit took almost a whole year to finally settle until both sides mysteriously dropped the case almost a year later in August of 2020. No one really knows how the situation ended, and both FaZe and Tfue have kept mostly quiet. This situation might have been enough to end any YouTuber's career, but not Tfue. He just kept marching on. And at this point, he was still one of the great Fortnite YouTubers around, and he wasn't going to stop at just that. He not only wanted to be known for his personality and his skill, he wanted to be known as a world champion. And luckily, a little tournament was about to be announced to give him that opportunity. This was the Fortnite World Cup.
This is your road to the Fortnite World Cup.
The Fortnite World Cup was a global Fortnite competition held in New York City with a $30 million prize pool. This, even still today, is the biggest prize pool in esports history, and this was Tfue's opportunity to win big. Unfortunately, Tfue and his duo Cloaksy did not qualify for the duos competition, but Tfue's hard work did pay off in solos, as he placed first in the Week 3 solo qualifiers on NA East, which earned him a spot in the Solo World Cup Finals.
I'm saying, like, I got first, dude?
I think you got first on East, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're showing.
Going into the tournament, Tfue was one of the most feared competitors. He had the most experience in LAN competitions and even got first place in the last tournament that he competed in. Not to mention, half of his competitors were still in high school and some even in middle school, since this was the first tournament where Epic lowered the age of competition from 16 to 13. Unfortunately for Tfue, however, the tournament did not go as planned. He finished 67th out of 100th, winning him $50,000. which, although that sounds like a lot of money, was the minimum amount of money you could win by qualifying for the tournament, so it was a huge disappointment for both Tfue and his fans. Many haters claimed he didn't care about Fortnite anymore, and that he was now focused on content creation rather than actual competitive play. Some others, however, said he was never even good to begin with, which obviously isn't true, but Tfue was starting to get more haters than ever. But hey, the guy was probably just having a bad day. It's a lot of pressure to compete on such a huge stage with a sold-out Arthur Ashe Stadium, and sometimes things just don't go your way. Although we'll never really know why Tfue underperformed so much at the World Cup, we do know what happened after that, and Tfue had announced that it was going to be his last competitive Fortnite Cup of all time.
This is my last competitive shit is the World Cup.
See, Tfue wanted to focus on content creation and streaming, and he did just that. He started to do more vlogs and highlighted his family life in Florida, where they did a lot of crazy IRL sports again, as well as some gaming content too. You see, although Tfue wasn't competitively playing Fortnite anymore, that doesn't mean that Fortnite wasn't a major part of his life still. I mean, you don't just get a Jonesy tattoo on your thigh for nothing. That shows some real dedication to the game.
What the f did I get on my leg, dude?
However, that being said, and much to the dissatisfaction of his fans, Tfue would eventually stop playing the game that made his career. See, Fortnite became a thing of the past for Tfue when a new battle royale came out called Warzone. Tfue released his first Call of Duty Warzone video on June 16th of 2020. He also played Fall Guys, Among Us, Minecraft, and even did some IRL content like flirting with my hot neighbor.
Oh my goodness. How big is this gonna be?
This is a good thumbnail, right?
Basically, he was doing anything other than Fortnite, and his content was doing good, but not great. His videos were sitting around 1 million views per post, which is absolutely huge for some creators. Don't get me wrong, I don't even get anywhere near that. But this was also nowhere near the views that he was getting in 2018 during his peak in Fortnite. After about a year of trying other games, Tfue did what many YouTubers do when their audience disappears, and goes back to what brought them there in the first place, and he returned to Fortnite.
Fortnite, boys, let's get it, baby. Yeah. Fortnite.
On April 3rd of 2022, Tfue released the video, I'm Coming Back to Fortnite. And believe it or not, he did just that. For the next year, he pretty much played only Fortnite, especially because he was super excited about Fortnite's new no-builds version. The no-builds version of Fortnite was really appealing to some of the older players who didn't want to sweat and build all day. But instead of this saving his channel, his views tanked, even more than when he switched over to Warzone. Instead of hitting 1 million views per video, his Fortnite videos were barely reaching 150,000. He kept up the Fortnite content for another year until April 23rd, 2023, where he kind of disappeared. For almost 2 months, Tfue was nowhere to be found on the internet. He didn't stream, he didn't upload to his YouTube, and he was mostly quiet on all of his other socials as well. But then, on June 20th of 2023, Tfue dropped a video called Goodbye.
So I just need to take time off, you know? I'm fucking 25. And I feel like majority of my life has been in front of a screen, which is, you know, I wouldn't take it back for the world. But I just feel like I need a break, you know?
This video included a heartfelt montage of major moments in his career, and it ended with a tearful goodbye to his fans and everyone that had helped him on his journey. Essentially, this was the end of Tfue's story. Or was it? You see, it was the end of Tfue until 6 months later on November 19th of 2023. On that day, Tfue released this video where he emerges from his own tombstone on a sandy grave and marches back to his streaming room that everyone loves so much. Here, Tfue not only announces his return to streaming, but that he'll also be leaving the platform of Twitch and moving to Kick. Kick was an all-new streaming service that flaunted no ads and a low-key approach to content moderation. One of the biggest points that was bringing people over is that it also allowed gambling on the platform and also gave creators a bigger cut of sub percentage for money. The New York Times even called Kick the Wild West of streaming. People weren't exactly supportive of this move, and many criticized him, claiming that the move was obviously only for money, which it probably was. Although we don't know exactly how much Tfue was paid to join the Kick platform, we do know that fellow streamer XQC was given $100 million to join the platform. So as you can imagine, they must have wrote Tfue a big check to come back to streaming and do it on their platform. But just because he was signed with Kick didn't mean he was going to stream regularly. Tfue played a little bit of the Fortnite OG season that came out, and even did some IRL live streams from time to time. But he's nowhere near as much of a regular streamer as he was a couple years ago. And it's clear that, despite signing with Kick, Tfue is kind of still retired. That being said, however, Tfue's Rest in Peace video that was posted around 4 months ago was followed up by 8 new uploads over the course of the next 4 months. So even though he might say he's retired, and then unretired, and then re-retired, and then unretired, and then who really even knows at this point, I think it's safe to say that Tfue isn't really going anywhere. And neither is our next player on this list, Stable Ronaldo. Stable Ronaldo, whose real name is Ronnie, was always interested in gaming from a young age. He got his first gaming laptop in 2014 at just 13 years old. He experimented with games like CSGO and Call of Duty, but he didn't find his true passion until a little game called Fortnite came out. Fortnite Battle Royale, as many of you may know, is the most popular video game perhaps of all time. With consistent player counts well into the millions, Fortnite was a great opportunity for any young and hungry gamer to get their name out there. With his passion to game at an all-time high, Ron decided to invest in himself and buy a brand new PC when Fortnite came out. It wasn't amazing or expensive, but it worked, and Ron was officially ready to grind. And that's exactly what he did. He practiced and practiced on his new PC. He wanted to be the best Fortnite player in the world. And eventually, he got good enough to even earn money playing competitive Fortnite. On May 26th of 2019, Ronaldo placed 170th in the Fortnite World Cup Week 7 solo qualifiers. This earned him $675, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for a 16-year-old kid, it was probably really cool and very motivating to keep going. Instead of spending the $675 on something ridiculous, he spent it on upgrading that PC that he had just bought. This was when he really decided to lock into gaming and hopefully make it on a professional level. He started grinding away at various Fortnite events like Cash Cups and FNCS tournaments. With his new gear, he was consistently placing higher and higher. Ron was looking to make a name for himself in the upcoming season, and the next FNCS was announced as Squads. However, Ron wasn't very well known at this time, and he had a few followers and some placements, but nobody was begging to play with him. Everything changed, however, when he met a player named Unknown Army. For those of you that don't know, Unknown Army was a very popular Twitch streamer and pro Fortnite player. He was also one of the very few controller players to qualify for the Fortnite World Cup in New York City. Stable Ronaldo was unfortunate enough to come across this absolute beast in a random Fortnite lobby. But instead of getting upset after Unknown completely destroyed him, Ronaldo reached out and decided to friend him. This would be one of the best decisions of Ronaldo's life. After DMing each other for the first time, the two became friends very quickly. Unknown even encouraged his new friend Ronaldo to start uploading to YouTube more since he was very entertaining. Eventually, Ron would do just that and upload his first video on the Stable Ronaldo account on October 2019.
Don't stop, only help a real cause. The
two of them started to compete in squad tournaments together alongside Kez KD and Avery. The team did well, but their biggest achievement happened on December 8th of 2019.
Yo, it's just us versus side. It's just us versus side. Knock one down. He's one shot. He has no mask. He has no mask. Not one knocked. What's? Yo, I don't have the mask for this. Wait, what? No, we're not top two. We're not top two. No, we're not top two. Oh, let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The squad won first place in the FNCS Chapter 2 Season 1 Grand Finals.
We won! No.
Winning the NA East Grand Finals back then meant that the squad won a total of $187,000. At this point, Ronaldo was on top of the world. Starting as a kid who just loved gaming, he was now an FNCS champion. And this was easily the largest prize he had ever won playing video games. But he needed to capitalize on this. Ronaldo didn't just want to make money from winning games, he also wanted to upload it and make money off of content. So he decided to upload a video showing off his big win. It was titled, "This is is how we came first and won $187,000 in the Squad FNCS Championship. And this video blew up. The video currently sits at 280,000 views, which is huge considering this was just his third video ever posted. Following this huge video, he started to make his streams and video uploads much more consistent. And now that Ron had won an FNCS, people started to take a lot more notice of him, and he was averaging about 1,000 viewers peak on any given stream.
This guy is running around with cheats!
I hope you have an amazing flight, you know.
Thanks. I will try.
Alright, thank you, Kurna.
Talk soon. It was good playing.
Talk.
Don't hit on me again, okay? Thank you.
Sorry.
All right.
What's up?
You kid. You're adopted.
Wrong scene.
He started uploading a ton of videos and streaming as much as he could, and Ron's clips were getting spread like wildfire around the Fortnite community and beyond. He quickly became known for his loud and abrasive yet incredibly funny personality. As he became more and more well known, he began to collab with some other big creators, and perhaps most importantly, Clix. In December of 2019, after Ronaldo and Clix had connected through a friend, they did a 2v2 on stream.
Sit down, Ronaldo. Ronaldo, you smell like Ronaldo. Ronaldo, sit down. Sit down. I like that. Ronaldo, get out of me. I'm in your head. Keep on going. Get out of my head.
Of course, Clix, who was much better, destroyed Ronaldo, but he got a really big kick out of Ron and his sense of humor. The two became fast friends and continued to stream together almost every single day. Since Clix was such a huge creator, this obviously brought a lot of attention to Ronaldo. Unfortunately, at this point, it was becoming clear to Ronaldo and the people around him that he wasn't good enough to consistently be making it to major tournaments and making a living off of the competitive side of Fortnite. But that didn't mean he was going to give up. Instead of deciding to retire or switch out of Fortnite, Ron decided that he could make just as many earnings off of playing the game for fun as he could doing esports. So he doubled down on his content and even started to do event coverage. Ron would live stream the professional tournaments on his Twitch account, switching between every player's point of view and giving his perspective on the games. People loved this. Until this point in the Fortnite community, their event coverage was very weak. Yeah, Epic had their basic streams happening, but the commentators were nowhere near as entertaining as Ronaldo. He added a ton of personality to the tournaments and brought a much needed sense of excitement to the events. Because of this and the COVID restrictions going on in the world, there were so many people that wanted to watch Ronaldo. His Twitch really blew up in 2020, and he quickly became one of the biggest names in not only Fortnite, but the entire streaming community. He went from 80,000 followers to 1 million followers in just the year of 2020, and he was averaging about 10,000 concurrent viewers on his streams. Because of all of the success, about halfway through 2020 in August, Ronaldo was invited to join Clix's team, NRG. Here he also teamed up with his old duo, Unknown Army. Ronaldo moved into the NRG house with Clix, Unknown, and Edgy, and started making even more content.
Something special about my room, you know, I do have a lot of... Oh, we gotta keep it down. I forgot he was... I didn't know you were... Okay, we'll forget about that. But this is my PC, you know, dual PC. A little bit something special.
Unfortunately, though, this newfound fame was far from ideal for Ron. There was an insane amount of viewers, and with this came an insane amount of hate. You see, Ronaldo sort of blew up overnight. Although he had been grinding silently for so long, a lot of people started to take notice of him very quickly. And this can be a lot, especially for a young kid to deal with. So the hate started to have an impact on Ronaldo, and his mental health started to suffer. In addition, it became way harder for Ronaldo to stream Fortnite even when he was just trying to have fun. His games were flooded with never-ending stream snipers, and Epic Games did nothing to try and help the in-game experience improve, not just for streamers, but also the general players. Updates were filled with bugs after bugs, and many players and content creators decided to stop playing Fortnite and switch to other games. Unfortunately for a lot of his fans, Ronaldo was one of them. Sadly, since Ronaldo had started streaming less Fortnite, his viewer count also fell rapidly. Not to mention, he uploaded videos way less on his YouTube channel and wasn't streaming nearly as much as he used to. Post-COVID times in 2022, he had some of the worst numbers ever on his account. To add to the struggles, Ronaldo left his gaming organization NRG on January 5th, 2022, after they announced that they were going to discontinue the Fortnite house.
I have officially
left NRG. NRG supported me early in my career, and they were an important part of my growth. This was a difficult decision to make. I have a lot of friends and a lot of members of the NRG staff that were an important part of my life, but in the end, I felt my career would benefit from a change.
Even with his numbers declining, however, 5 months later in June of 2022, Ronaldo joined FaZe Clan. He thought that this was going to be the turning point in his career and everything was going to go back up. But unfortunately, it didn't work out this way. Barely any of his videos, even after joining FaZe, were reaching 250,000 views. And I know that sounds like a lot of views to most of you, and it's more than I get most of the time, but it wasn't quite up to standard with what other FaZe members and creators of his size were getting. At this point, Ron was at an all-time low as far as content and morale. He was feeling out of touch with his own audience, but more importantly, he was out of touch with himself. It was clear that Ron wasn't happy and he didn't know what content he truly wanted to make and who he was trying to make it for. Obviously, struggling and being upset made it really difficult for him to entertain his viewer base. On his Twitter burner account, Ron was very honest about these struggles, and he talked about how it was difficult to stay consistent with streaming and creating content. Despite having a lower view count, however, people still loved Ronaldo. Keep in mind, this guy had 2.5 million Twitch followers, so at some point in his career, people really loved his content, and Ronaldo truly believed that people still did. Plus, he was still a big name amongst many of the Fortnite content creators, many of whom were still close friends with Ronaldo. It wasn't a matter of people not liking Ron or his content. People loved him and still do, but not everyone was Ron's biggest fan. And at this point in time, he would get into the first real beef of his career. Plenty of streamers and content creators have disagreements and controversies with one another, but it's just part of being in the community. However, Ron didn't just get into beef with anybody. His issue was with Ninja. On July 11th of 2023, Ninja, Tim the Tatman, and Cloaksy were all on stream together. They were getting drunk, opening CSGO cases, and just generally having a good time. That's when Ronaldo entered the chat. He sent a very simple chat message in Ninja's stream saying, "Tell Cloaksy I said hello." Keep in mind, Ronaldo goes way back with Cloaksy and they were good friends. However, this confused the streamers as he could have just gone into Cloaksy's channel and said it to him directly. So because of this, they thought that Ronaldo might have been a fake account. So as the three of them were discussing whether or not this was the real Ronaldo, Ninja thought it would be a great idea to randomly start trash talking him.
Also Ronaldo is like literally like 1/20th of our following and is completely irrelevant. So we should probably just keep opening games.
Unfortunately, it didn't end there. Ninja continued to rant for a very long time about how Ronaldo isn't relevant anymore because now that he makes IRL content, he wasn't even part of their community and he wasn't getting as many views as them. It was very unprofessional of Ninja, and honestly, it was kind of strange. Ninja was somebody that Ronaldo looked up to, as many of us in the Fortnite community have, and for absolutely no reason, Ninja decided to punch down on somebody who was already struggling in their life and career. Not to mention, Ninja was 32 years old when this went down, and a 32-year-old man drunkenly trash-talking somebody who isn't even old enough to drink yet is kind of a weird look. Of course, this drunken rant was not well received, and Tim the Tatman and Cloaksy immediately tried to get Ninja to stop talking, but he was on kind of a rampage. Both Cloak and Tim were talking about how much they liked Ronaldo, and were clearly uncomfortable with everything that Ninja was saying. What had happened had already happened, and what had been said had already been said. This VOD got clipped so many times, and it went viral. The real Ronaldo was in fact the person that was in chat, and he watched this unfold right in front of his own eyes. Of course, if you're seeing one of your biggest inspirations say these things about you, it's gonna really hurt. And he responded immediately on Twitter with a thread on his burner account. And his mom even sent him a picture of his dog saying, "Ninja sucks," which was a nice touch. Shout out to Ron's mom. Well, to finally put the situation to rest, Ronaldo also responded on stream the next day, going over the VOD and responding to everything that Ninja said.
I have to defend myself. I don't even want to talk about this. That's the fucking main reason I tweeted this on my fucking burner. Because I don't give a about this, but I have to defend myself. You coming at everything that I worked for.
According to this reaction video, Ninja did reach out to Ronaldo after everything went down.
So then he responded with, "My apologies, dude. I had no reason to blast you like that. I was completely gone and just feeling some type of way. No reason to randomly and unnecessarily throw shade at you, brother. I don't expect you to forgive me either. I just wanted to reach out and say I'm sorry. You're a great streamer and content creator. If I'm a great streamer and content creator, why are you saying 1,000 viewers is bad, that my YouTube isn't good, and that my community basically sucks?"
It seemed as if Ninja was genuinely sorry, but then the next day on his stream, he just referred to that trash talk as a mini roast and a little bit of banter. The Fortnite community did not just forget about this clip, even though Ninja probably wanted them to. Basically, everyone responded, especially Ron's friends. Clicks even made his own response to the video defending Ronaldo.
So now he's sitting with 1,000 viewers.
That's
so not
so
only
weird.
should I hold it or should I say it now?
That is
should
so
I say it now or no?
weird, bro. That's so weird. I didn't
hold
even hear that.
Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard.
I didn't hear that. That's so cringe.
If you are making fun of me for 1,000 viewers, let's say, you are not only making fun of me, but you're making fun of people who have less than 1,000 viewers, when 1,000 viewers is like 0.001% of Twitch.
Ron, being the good guy that he is, just wanted to move on from this situation as fast as possible. He didn't make any more comments on the drama because he knew that he was above the situation. But in a way, this drama would end up being a blessing in disguise. See, I am a true believer that everything happens for a reason. And it seems now like that one chat message Ronaldo sent that then led to Ninja's rant may have been the thing to save Ronaldo's career. Because if nothing else, this whole controversy definitely seemed to reinvigorate Ronaldo's audience. This opened him up to the possibility of returning to streaming. And the opportunity that Ron was waiting for was right around the corner. In November of 2023, Fortnite released a huge update bringing back the original map for a brand new 1-month season. This new season, known as Fortnite OG, had everyone wanting to get back into the Fortnite action, yes, including Ronaldo. So Ron returned to Fortnite, streaming to some of the biggest audiences he had seen in years. People loved the new update and were happy to see one of their favorite OG creators returning to play the game. But just like before, Ron was worried that as soon as the Fortnite OG season ended, all of his viewers would disappear again. However, he didn't let that stop him, and he went right back to what he wanted to do. Instead of falling into the trap and only streaming Fortnite again, Ron just did what he loved, which was entertain people to the best that he could without stressing himself out too much. So, did Ron's audience all disappear again and stop watching him because he wasn't playing Fortnite? Well, that's not exactly what happened. In fact, it was quite the opposite, actually. Even after Fortnite OG ended, Ronaldo kept his numbers up. Although his stats aren't quite what they were in 2020, he's still averaging about 5,000 concurrent viewers per month in his Twitch streams, and that's rising still. He also just reached 3 million followers on Twitch, which is huge. And most importantly to Ron, they don't just watch him play Fortnite, they watch him for him. They enjoy his e-dates, other video games, and pretty much anything else because everything that Ron does is hilarious. Ronaldo has the type of magnetic personality that makes you want to just keep watching. I think his passion and love for gaming and entertainment is admirable, and honestly, it's a huge inspiration for me making this channel. And another huge inspiration is the GOAT himself, Benji Fishy. Benji David Fish, yes, that is actually his government name. Turns out he was born with a built-in gamer tag. Was born on April 2nd of 2004 in the UK. His life started out normal, a mom, a dad, and an older brother. But tragedy struck Benji's family when his father David passed away when Benji was just 8 months old. This left Benji's mom Anne alone to raise 2 very young kids. But Benji's mom, like many others, wanted her kids to have the best life possible, so she tried to support them in any way that she could. Growing up, Benji loved sports like cricket, rugby, and bowling.
Benji has always been really sporty. He's always been into his cricket, loves cricket, rugby, and also very much temping bowling.
Yeah, these trophies are from temping bowling. I started when I was like 3, and then I stopped by around like 10-ish. My knees and feet started getting pretty bad.
Unfortunately, however, because of his health issues, Benji was unable to continue bowling. So instead, he turned to gaming. And like many other Fortnite prodigies, Benji started gaming because his older brother did too.
Benji's got an older brother, Charles, who's 7 years older than him. So as a result of that, Benji's pretty much been gaming from a really early age.
I've been playing games since I was like 5. On console, I played COD, played Halo. I got a laptop for like my 8th birthday or something. That's when I like first started playing, or like I can't remember, like 7 or 8.
Benji jumped around video games like Call of Duty, Halo, League of Legends, and CSGO, but nothing really fit. Well, not until a certain Battle Royale game hit the market. In September of 2017, Fortnite Battle Royale took the world by storm. If you were alive in 2017, you could not avoid the word
Fortnite. 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 Fortnite.
So of course, it would catch the eye of a young gamer named Benji.
Season 3, I started like properly like grinding it. And then season 4, season 5 started getting into scrims and stuff.
Benji loved playing with his friends, but quickly started to get much better than his peers. He also started uploading highlight reels to his YouTube channel. His first ever video was uploaded on September 20th of 2018. In the video called Solo Duo Scrim Clutch, he did just that. You are God! You are God! You actually God! He showed the last few minutes of a scrim match where he had to clutch the game with his duo down. And honestly, just from the video, you can tell that he is gonna go far in Fortnite. His aim is absolutely insane, and he was even pretty entertaining on the mic, which a lot of kids his age that were so good at Fortnite, they didn't have that skill yet.
I beg you be the biggest bot team in the world. No, you are not telling me that is their base. Oh my fucking God, you're yeah, nice. You are kidding me. That is their base. Oh my fucking God. They've got help.
Benji seemed like a pro when it came to content creation so quickly, but it turns out this wasn't his first time trying.
My first game that I streamed wasn't Fortnite. I used to play a lot of CS. Like a lot. Like before Fortnite came out, I was a CS grinder. I was decent at it. I mean, considering I was like, it's probably when I was around 13. Yeah, I grinded pretty hard. I was able to get global. Yeah, I think I streamed like a few games of CS back in the day.
So since he had already started streaming in CSGO, it makes sense how such a young kid was so good at streaming. And because of this, he did start to gain some traction on his streams, but nothing like what was to come. It wasn't long before Benji was competing in Fortnite on a professional level and being invited to independent tournaments like the ScrimCon Pro Clash that happened on February 21st of 2019 and the Duo vs Squad 25k tournament that happened February 24th in 2019. And in both of these events, he happened to get first place, both of which he played with his new duo, Mr. Savage. And we'll talk more about Savage later because he plays a huge role in Benji's story. This incredibly successful tournament weekend earned Benji $10,400, which is insane for your first round of earnings. And let me remind you guys, Benji was still a kid at this point. He was only 14 years old. And like I said before, Benji's home life was a little bit troubling, and this must have been amazing support for him and his mom. And yeah, just to reiterate, if you didn't catch that, he's done everything I've mentioned so far in this video by the time he was 14. A brief competitive bowling career, bowling retirement, CSGO streamer, and pro Fortnite player, all by 14, which is insane. When I was 14, my biggest accomplishment was like not failing geometry. But speaking of school, however, Benji's non-stop gaming really started to affect his performance in his classes. It was hard to stay awake for math, or maths as they call it in the UK, when you're up all night getting no scopes. This is where most parents would have drawn the line and said no more gaming, but not Benji's mom. I mentioned earlier in the video that she would do anything she could to support her son through really anything, and I really meant that. And later on in this video, I'll even talk a little bit more about Ann Fishy and her story as well. Benji's mom actually encouraged him to drop out of traditional school and become homeschooled so that he could play more Fortnite.
It's more convenient to like be homeschooled while playing like a pro game. I can base it around my practice pretty much.
This decision to leave traditional school might sound like a no-brainer now in 2024, but many people judged people that were homeschooled back in 2019. To take a kid out of school to play video games at that time was not only unheard of, but Benji Fishy's mom definitely had people talking behind her back and saying that it was a bad parenting decision. That being said, Anne knew her son and knew that he was destined for great things. She just had to let him follow his passion. Isn't she like the best mom ever? Speaking of great moms, however, my mom actually has a message for you guys. Hey guys, it's Timmy FNBR's mom here again. Could you guys just subscribe to my son, please? Thank you. Thanks for that, Mom, I guess, but back to the video. Following his big wins at those two previous tournaments I mentioned, Benji started to grind harder than ever. He earned in the Scallywag Cup, the Blackheart Cup, and the Lux Cup. You name it, Benji was playing it and doing it well. His success started to get the attention of various pro gaming organizations, and on March 19th, 2019, Benji signed with NRG. This is actually the same org as his duo partner, Mr. Savage. It was a no-brainer. NRG was one of the biggest gaming orgs ever, and even though Benji and Savage had only competed a few times together, it was clear they were building up to be a massive threat in the EU region. Despite signing with an org, Benji still hadn't gotten the opportunity to participate in a big LAN tournament yet. But that was all going to change when Fortnite announced its biggest LAN tournament of all time, the Fortnite World Cup. The Fortnite World Cup was announced in early 2019 and had an insane $40 million prize pool. Players across the world could compete in 10 weeks of qualifying tournaments. If you ranked high enough in these qualifiers, whether it was solos or duos, you would secure secure your spot in the finals all the way in New York City. This was not only the biggest Fortnite event of all time, but the biggest esports event we had ever seen in world history. And of course, Benji was ready to earn his spot in the finals. And things were looking pretty promising for him. Him and Mr. Savage placed first place in the World Cup warm-ups for the EU region. So going into qualifiers, they were primed to make it to New York City. And luckily for Benji, that's exactly what he did. He qualified for the World Cup in the first round by placing third in solos week 1 in EU. And after that, he followed up his incredible performance in solos with a win in the week 2 duos EU tournament, where him and Mr. Savage earned a ticket to New York City.
Let's go. Yeah, we're chilling, bro. We're chilling. Let's go. Good. Dude, let's go.
These wins also meant that Benji was the first person to qualify for both solos and duos. But just because Benji had already qualified for the World Cup didn't mean he was going to stop playing the qualifiers to earn some more cash, and more importantly, prove that he was a force to be reckoned with. In week 6 and 10, Benji and Mr. Savage placed third in EU duos. So it was clear at this point that not only had they earned their spot in New York City, but they would be one of the favorites to take it home.
I'm Benji Fishy, and I'm a pro Fortnite player for NRG. And if I win the World Cup, I'm going to buy my family a house.
As you can see, there was a lot of pressure on Benji Fishy. I mean, winning the World Cup would be life-changing for anybody, let alone a young kid with a single mom who was trying to get out of their small one-bedroom house. With the biggest individual prize of the World Cup being $3 million, there was a chance that Benji and his mom might never have to rent a place again. And all Benji had to do was win. And with his performances so far, winning was actually a realistic possibility. So Benji got on a plane and flew across Lucky Lake to the Big Apple of New York City.
I enjoy listening to it.
Oh, no, on me. I'm rotating. Follow me.
Duos were up to bat for the first day of the tournament.
Benji,
It's just so annoying.
need to be waking up. Come.
And this young duo put up a fight. The two of them placed 14th out of 50 duos, just a few placements away from winning extra money. But hey, they each got to take home $50,000 just for the duos portion, and luckily Benji still had the opportunity to win big in the Solos Cup the next day.
And at the end here, Benji Fishy, what more can you say about him? We're gonna go ahead and take a look what his life is like back at home.
My name is Benji Fish. I'm 15 years old. I live in the UK. To master Fortnite, you gotta play a lot.
Benji Fishy trying to punish some of these players.
I'm definitely on par with pretty much every pro.
I love Benji Fish.
I'm very excited to go to the World Cup. It's definitely gonna be one of the best things of my life.
Playing for his family, his mom, and trying to do everything he can to make an even bigger name for himself.
This was his chance to win big. Benji and his mom could finally buy that house. But unfortunately for Benji, once again, he placed just outside of winning extra money in 25th place.
I was so close in both solos and duos to get extra money. Yeah, as I said, all I needed was that one pop-off game in both the duos and the solos, and I would have been top 10, top 5.
But hey, Benji did not go home empty-handed at all. When all was said and done, Benji flew back to the United Kingdom $100,000 richer than he was before. Benji came home from the World Cup a little bit disappointed, but also motivated to take what he thought was his and become a champion in Fortnite. Just because he didn't take home first place in the World Cup doesn't mean he still wasn't one of the best players in the world at this time. Just to put into perspective how good Benji is, over 40 million players competed to get into the World Cup, which means that he was better than almost every single one of those 40 million people, and that's crazy.
That's crazy.
But like I said, Benji had really high expectations for himself, and unfortunately, he didn't meet them in the World Cup.
In World Cup, we got 14th in duos and I got 25th in solos. I felt bad after it. I knew I was just as good as everybody else there.
He was, I would say, actually devastated that he hadn't done as well as he wanted to.
But just because he didn't do as well as he wanted didn't mean he was just going to give up. Instead, he was going to take what he learned from the World Cup and come back even stronger. And boy oh boy, that is exactly what he did. Later on that year, Fortnite introduced FNCS, or the Fortnite Champion Series. And this was a whole new season-based tournament system. And it was around this time, unfortunately, where Benji and his duo partner Mr. Savage decided to split ways. But that wouldn't last forever. We'll get back to Mr. Savage later. Fortnite announced that the new FNCS would be a trios game mode, so they started a brand new trio now known as MMB, which was Mongrel, Mitro, and Benji Fishy. To say that this trio was a threat to the rest of EU would be an understatement. I mean, these guys were good. In FNCS Season X, this dynamic trio would go on to win 10th in Grand Finals. Although this wasn't exactly their goal, as they wanted to place higher, they still did earn some great money, and on top of that, they won 4 cash cups in Season X. By the end of 2019, Benji earned almost $420,000 just from Fortnite. Forgetting content creation and Twitch for the moment, that is an absolutely wild amount of money to make just by playing a video game. So it's pretty safe to say that even though he didn't win the World Cup, Benji probably got himself a nice house with his mom. And like I said a minute ago, Benji's main earnings might not have actually even been from Fortnite. Outside of being one of the best players in the game, his social media accounts were also popping off. By the end of 2019, Benji Fishy was sitting at an average of 15,000 viewers per Twitch stream, and his YouTube videos were getting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. Benji continued to compete and grind out content throughout 2020 and 2021, where he continued to place well and earn a lot of money. He took home $150,000 in professional earnings in 2020.
This play from Benji, the movement is crispy clean.
My God, the movement is insane. Fallout. He's still moving forward. Somehow found himself at the front side of zone. This is where you go for those beams. He's looking for 1 or 2. There's the pump. My Gute gets taken out. Benji now with 4. He's doing it almost triple digits. Going for that win. Hard find though is still active. Moving ever so much further from Benji. Benji still trying to grasp onto the light. There it is. Onto Seti. A second one from Benji. He's doing it. It's happening.
It is happening. We have manifested, chat. Benji Fishy is popping off right now. He's at 100 plus. He's at 115, and he's not done yet. He has a great inventory right now, Shio. He has Chug Splashes, minis, and big pots, and then gold spaz and a gold AR. He's in such a good spot. Benji's gonna get another one. That's gonna be rotary. Benji is going insane. Benji's gonna get one more. Benji is on an absolute running rampage.
7 eliminations all the way down from height. 1 HP. Somehow gets to survive. 3 builds. Pump from high ground. Drops to low. Blocks it off. Another one. My God, Benji. The back-to-back. 180 degrees. No. 360 of total carnage. Benji Fishy. 9 eliminations. The God run. The curse broke it. Another 200 pump. Low ground. Domination. Ferox taken out. The next one. Benji blocks it. Does he get the 1 pump? It's blocked. He's there for the next. Benji Fishy. Oh my God. How are you doing this? 12
and another 75,000 in 2021. But by later in 2021, it was clear to Benji and his fans that his heart just wasn't necessarily in the game like it used to be. I mean, if you do anything every single day for 3, 4, or 5 years, you're bound to get a little bit bored of it. But Benji knew that he needed to make some sort of change if he wanted to keep competing professionally. So in late 2021, Benji did what everybody wanted him to do and reunited with his old duo partner, Mr. Savage.
The ultimate, the God EU duo has reunited in the United States of America.
We don't know exactly why the team reunited, but both Benji and Mongrel mentioned that they wanted to start playing with other duos, and it seemed like the split had no bad blood. Unfortunately, however, this reunion with Mr. Savage was not everything it hoped to be. As the team wasn't placing very well, it's hard to continuously compete in a game that you fell out of love with and aren't really doing so great at. So on June 24th of 2022, Benji decided to quit Fortnite forever.
I am officially quitting competitive Fortnite to pursue Valorant. Recently, I've fell out of love with Fortnite. I used to be able to play Fortnite like 8-10 hours a day, but Even last season, I was only playing during the tournaments just because I really couldn't force myself to get on the game.
For those that knew Benji well and watched his streams, they could already see that Benji was falling in love with a brand new game called Valorant. So the switch to this new game didn't come out of nowhere. Because Benji was quitting Fortnite, however, he did have to leave his long-term org, NRG, and he officially left on December 17th of 2022. At this time, a lot of the biggest Fortnite players and creators were leaving at this time, so I don't really blame the guy. People like Tfue and Ninja were all slowly jumping ship to other games or just simply quitting the internet for good. Switching games, however, for an esports pro is really risky. Imagine a professional soccer or football player suddenly deciding they want to be a pro basketball player. I mean, just because you're good at one video game doesn't always mean you're gonna immediately be a pro at another one. Not to mention that for the content side, sometimes your viewers don't want to watch you play a different game. But Benji was different. He was determined that he was gonna be a pro gamer no matter what, and he was gonna do what he loved, regardless of whether or not people watched him. So he started to grind Valorant, and he was good at it, but he was still a free agent, and Valorant is a little bit different than Fortnite when it comes to playing professionally. You can't just load up and queue for a tournament. You need to be signed to a team if you want to play in any big tourneys. So Benji decides to sign on to a tier 2 Valorant team, which maybe he was a little bit too good for, but he knew that if he played well on this team, he could catch the eye of some of the bigger teams. And that's exactly what happened. Benji Fishy caught the eye of the very popular Team Heretics. This was one of the best teams in the Valorant community. And at the beginning of this year, Benji also won an award from the Valorant community for being a rising star. Plus, playing Valorant brought a whole new audience to Benji's social media accounts. Although he's not quite getting as many viewers as he used to do in his prime in Fortnite, he's still pulling thousands of average viewers every stream. And perhaps more importantly, Benji looks happy. At the end of the day, we would all love for Benji to come back to the Fortnite scene, but I think we all care more about Benji and his happiness than we do about making him do what we want. And although this might be the end of Benji's Fortnite journey, it's clear that this won't be the last time we see him. This is only the beginning of Benji Fish. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and click right here to watch another one of my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!